Hello, this is Sheshasana from Astroguide Mysore. Today let us understand the manifestations of Mercury when it is placed in the second house. So I am dealing with the series of planets placed in different houses, and I have already completed Sun in 12 houses, Moon in 12 houses, Mars in 12 houses. As we are coming through the series, the Vedic series, Namasurya, Chandraya, Mangalaya, Budhaya, Guru Shukra Shani Rahave Ketave Nama. So now it is Buddha. So I have already done with Buddha in the Ascendant. Now let us do Buddha in the second house. That is Mercury in the second house. So Mercury is a very versatile, extremely sharp planet, and when it is sitting in the second house, which is actually family, Kutumbasthana, the language, the vocabulary, the Vak Sthana. Vak, here, very clearly, Vak, Vauc, which can be written in English, was clearly from Sanskrit word went as voice. Here, C is the K, Vak. So, Vak Sthana, where the vocabulary, the king of vocabulary is Mercury. The king of language, the queen of language, let us not put everywhere the male gender here, the queen of language is Moon. So, Moon and Mercury both give extraordinary memory capacity and fluency of language, the grip on the language, people who can translate, people who can be very good in understanding and also making people understand theories, philosophies by their versatility of language. So, as we say, Mercury is a planet for dexterity. That is to be seen in a different house. But here, the dexterity is with regard to using both the brains, both parts of the brains. The right half, which is the more creative half, and the left half, which is more the practical half. So we all know that the right hand is, the right part of the body is associated with the left brain, and the left part of the body is associated with the right brain. So that is why this is the creative part and this is the practical part. So anyway, Mercury gives you equal 50-50 sharing of both the creative part and the practical part. So that is why we call these people as Sabyasachi or ambidextrous. I will continuously be telling this in the series of Mercury, because Mercury means a person who has versatility, the person who is hungry for knowledge, hungry to explore, hungry in curiosity to understand. So he will never leave any leaf or rock unturned. He will turn it and see it. Until then, he will not feel satisfied. That is what is a real Mercury. So, second house is primary knowledge, that is primary education. The Annasthana, where we eat. So Mercury is a Krusha. Krusha means very little. So meager eaters, they don't spend much energy physically. People with second Mercury will spend most of their energy talking. So they are, if Mercury is loosely placed in the sense that it is not having a strong binding like a Jupiter, like a Moon, or like a Venus. If the binding is not strong in the second house and it is loosely placed along with, let us say, a Rahu or a Saturn, then the person will become unnecessarily gossiping, nagging, a chatterbox. What else? They keep, simply talking without any weightage. So, they are very tactical in speech. Their vocabulary, as I told you, is very good. They precisely use the right words at the right time. So they know how to formulate a paragraph and they can think very much ahead. That is what is the second house. So they accumulate one knowledge after the other. They are hungry to read, voracious readers and also very good writers. That is why when Mercury is in the second house, we always predict that these people, this person can become a very good journalist, a very good advocate, because second house you should have sweet, nice, fantastic vocabulary wherein you can argue in such a way that the person who is listening to you will totally agree with your argument. So it's like encapsulating that person, and by your charm of speech. So, soft speech, sweet voice, because Mercury is a very soft planet, very mild planet. So liquid cash transactions. Second house is Dhanasthana, and in Dhanasthana, if you are having the planet which actually represents regular transactions of cash and currency, Mercury in the second house makes you extraordinarily rich. The reverse Mercury in the 12th house makes you Krupana, that means you are miser. So Mercury in the second house makes you Dhanadipati, wealthy person. So, yeah, they are very good in trading, in keeping accounts and banking. If it is malefic, they lose parental property, whatever has come to them, and they simply, flaunt that money and waste it. And why that happens is because if you take the eighth house from any given lagna, the opposite to the eighth house is the second house, and second house becomes the maraka for the eighth house. So what is eighth house? Getting parental property, good parental property, whatever the father leaves behind. So what is father from the chart is the ninth house, and whatever he leaves behind is the 12th from the ninth, it is the eighth house. And if you have to enjoy it, you need to have a strong second house. If you have a weak Mercury, then you will lose it to all the people who are around you will usurp it. If you have a malefic Mercury, you won't squander it away, you will throw it away. Putting into stock market or putting into the racing horse, and that's it. The horse goes and it doesn't win anyway because it's a bad placement for Mercury. But if it's a good placement, the whole reversal will happen. That is, the property, whatever has been left or has been gained or acquired because of the parental lineage will be doubled and tripled, and this person will be making good profits of it. So, they are very good advocates, journalists, document experts. Why? Because they can formulate. They are very good in speech and the language. They are experts in language. If it is an average placement, let's say it is not good or bad. We are only talking about benefic or malefic now. Let me talk about average, because Mercury can become average. So when it becomes average, the person will keep on going through routine, like he becomes a clerk in a bank, he becomes a clerk in some, let's say, a railway department, first division clerk or a second division clerk who goes through a long process and then becomes a section officer or something and retires. So these people do very hard, laborious, routine work without getting tired. They are intelligent, no doubt, but because of a weak Mercury, these people will go through the pain of not going and reaching heights, but going through a slow process of promotions, like going through the government department where you have a regular, set number of years for the next promotion. It's like you are now a section officer, you will become of the chief only after 15 years. By the time you would have retired. So this is like they go through a very sluggish and a stagnant speed, very slow speed. Let's say a snail's speed. So that's when Mercury becomes weak. I am not talking about retro Mercury today because retro Mercury is a huge subject. It's a very big subject. Let me come to it later on. Retro planets in different houses will be another subject, another series which I will do later on. Like retro Saturn in the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, we'll do it. But let me first finish the normal things. So these are all basics. They are eloquent speakers, which I have already told. They are very good in training department. because they are good speakers, they are fantastic in marketing and after sales, they are very good in installations and knowledge transfer. These people can transfer knowledge from A to B when they are not involved at all. They are C. Actually, that means these people might not have got involved into the real framework of the team. But if they are given the knowledge, they can very nicely transfer it from A to B. They can do that job, which A cannot do because A does not have that fluency to transfer that knowledge. So they can be hired as knowledge transferring experts. So yeah, they are very good teachers. So once again, when it is mediocre place, these people will not get the higher positions in teaching. Like they can't become professors and readers, and they cannot go into fellowships and research. They will be just like a normal, teacher who goes to school every day. I am not degrading those teachers who are in schools, because that is the most key position in any society, which has been marginalized. These people have been marginalized, they have not been paid. I am totally against it. I am for those people, poor people. Actually, they have done their masters and getting paid peanuts. Mercury cannot stand being paid peanuts. They need the best placement or they'll simply quit. The problem here is, if Mercury is mediocre placement, if it is weakly placed in a chart, then people who are teaching, it's like helpless. They are ready to accept 12,000, 15,000, 18,000. They are teaching the best of mathematics, they are teaching the best of electronics, and these people are being paid peanuts. In India, the education system has gone to dogs, and I'm totally against it, because the teaching profession should be paid the highest. I don't know why anybody, the whole system is wrong. We are not respecting our teachers. We need to pay them the highest. How can a teacher run his family if he is being paid 18,000 a month? That means we want the teacher to live in a 5,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees room along with his wife and children, and his children, they will be given free seat in the same school. But what after that? What after they finish the college? They will again go to a place where they have to be paying lakhs together. This teacher will not be able to afford. So a teacher's child, poor fellow, he cannot afford a higher education, and finally what will happen is these people will end up with mediocre jobs. Only very rare cases I have seen a teacher affording money for, that is why I am for those people, where I am totally against those institutions which tell a teacher not to do tuitions at home. He is trying to earn an extra buck, man. Please let him do it. He has to somehow satisfy the needs, because you are not ready to pay. You don't want to pay, and also you are against him doing some extra work. Let him do it. He is not stealing from anybody. He is trying to teach. So this is what a Mercurian who has a mediocre Mercury in the second house goes through. He can't do anything. He is helpless. He is in a situation locked up in the family. He has responsibilities to see through. But our system, we are very sorry to say, all over the world, the teaching community is very well paid, and in India, this is the worst situation ever possible in the world. So please, let us all, someday or the other, I am fighting for this. Let us all fight. The teacher community has to be paid the highest, because when you pay them the highest salary, they will give the utmost respect to they are doing it. They are trying to bring the children up by giving the knowledge with their experience. They make stories, they tell it to the children so that it becomes a better concept, and they would do it much better with zeal. If you pay them full, they will also give full. They are not giving full now, because they also know day after day they go through the same saga. You give them 500 rupees increase a year, it's nothing. So let me not prolong this particular topic, but still I get hurt when I hear about, when I'm seeing it every day. You also people should have gone through this thing. Anyway, mediocre Mercury in the second house, people go through small businesses, very small businesses. Having a mobile shop, small mobile shop, and mobile repair shop, electronics, and having being a shopkeeper, selling vegetables. But if it is well placed, these people can become the best agents in agri business. They are very good in real estate. They are excellent in buying and selling, that is, export and import. They are good in foreign exchange, particularly foreign exchange, because the second house is very good for foreign exchange. 11th house and second house deal with exchange, and Mercury and Jupiter there will give extraordinary brain for foreign exchange and banking. So, commodities, they are very good in trading and commodities if it is strongly placed, and it is weakly placed. As I told you, they will be as normal as any shopkeeper around your city. So thank you very much for today's class. I hope I have covered considerable subject.